B-boy. From the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East Coast to the West, B-boys worldwide. We supposed to be blessed, still a B-boy.
This week, we're heading to Brooklyn to talk about one of the most famous names in hip hop history. Although he'll always be paired with and against another famous rapper who died the year before he did, Christopher Wallace was an amazing MC. Gone too soon, obviously. He only gave us a couple albums in his lifetime. Tonight, top 10 Notorious B.I.G. songs, Biggie Smalls tonight. Joining me, Kane's in the house. Raven's here as always. You got Mars in the building. So we're going to
Yeah.
rep it. Number
Take that.
10, I'm going to go to the double disc 1997's Life After Death record. And I'm going with the song Long Kiss Goodnight. And although it's not an official Tupac diss track, it's a Tupac diss track. From the I Ain't Mad at Your line to being in jail. It's a Tupac diss. And I just love battle records. And this one always stood out to me on this album. And I think the last three songs on disc 2 is my favorite section of that whole double disc. I just think all three go really hard, and this is my favorite of the three. And I didn't realize this, or I had forgotten it. RZA from Wu-Tang did the beat for this song. I hadn't remembered that he did production on this record. We're going to talk about Puffy a lot tonight. Hearing him in the background between verse, I think 1 and 2. He's just talking shit in the hooks, like hooks in parentheses. But he's like, we don't give a fuck. We're going to keep fucking you up. I'm quoting this. I'm going to keep stomping your motherfucking head in, you little bitch. It's like, whoa, Puffy, what the
Right.
fuck, man?
Coming from Puff Daddy.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's doing these like fucking turning into the Ghetto Boys or something. But Long Kiss Goodnight, the Pac diss is my number 10. Kane, you're up at 10.
I got Sky's the Limit featuring 112 on Life After Death. I love the intro to the song, especially because when it came out, he was already gone. Just his first line, never been as broke as me. I like that. Like how this story of like building his crew and coming up. And I love 112 on the hook, smoothing it out. And something I'm going to say a lot tonight is his storytelling. I could listen to this dude just tell stories over and over and over again. He was so talented at that.
That was an honorable mention. That was a single off the record. When I think of that song, I think about how he's like sewing gators on his shirt, so it looks like he's got better clothes. And yeah,
You want to see the inside?
I'll
See
see
you
you
later.
later.
See you later.
And he hits him in the face. Yeah. No, that's a good pick. Honorable mention already off the list. Raven, number 10.
That one I struggled with not getting on the list myself.
It's a dope
so I'm
song.
glad it got talked about. Number 10, I stuck with I'm gonna stay with 97, Life After Death. I'm gonna go to disc 1 and I'm going to The Last Day featuring the Locks. Because it's a really not boring song and I really enjoy the beat. No, I think that Biggie doesn't sound as inspired in this song as he does in some of the other harder tracks on the album, but the locks make up for it. And just, what you gonna do when I run up in the house, put the gun up in your mouth, take the money out the couch? Like, fuck you. That's New York all day. I love that shit.
For those listening, I called that song boring before we hit record tonight. I don't know, it's just my opinion. The Locks always kind of bored me. I don't not like them. I just,
Who's
don't
this man off the stage?
yeah, I don't hate them like I hate Lil Wayne. We are to number 9, and I'm going to 1994. That classic, Ready to Die. What a debut. Damn. Holds up so well. And I'm going with Unbelievable, because Biggie Smalls is the illest. God, does Big sound amazing over this DJ Premier beat. What a great marriage. I mean, almost everyone sounds good over Primo beat. And this is just strictly MC shit. There's so many great one-liners in here. I always smile at your played out like Kwame and those fucking polka dots. And kids, go on Google, type in Kwame in the New Beginning, and it all makes sense to you. And that damn hook is done so well, just pure hip hop in every sense of the word. I kept having to put it on my list because I just vibe to it so much. And man, does this record hold up? I mean, it holds up so well. And this is over 30 years ago. So it's a testament to the MC he was. So unbelievable. Number 9, Kane, you are up.
It, and going through this, I just thought like, you know how many more dope songs we would have if the albums we would have got, like the
Amazing.
influential changes that would have happened from the music he would have released. Like it's
Man, if Big and Pac would have finished patching things up like the rumor is they were doing, and they
yeah,
both survived, this shit, hip hop would have changed. It would have been different
yeah,
Well,
for sure.
and with both of them, they both died in their mid 20s. So think
in their prime of music.
what would Pac
Right.
and Big be talking about in their 30s when they're older and more mature? I mean,
Facts.
think of the music we would have got. It's
Because they already had very matured,
right.
deep stories for their ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's sad, no doubt about it.
All right,
Number
number
9.
9. I got a story to tell on life after death. Such a cool story of meeting a girl, getting caught by a man cheating, and then he has to go tell his boys about this crazy night he has. It's a simple beat, but the story, it's just that one long verse, and it's just, it keeps your attention the whole time, even though, it's just this simple beat. His storytelling ability and then make a song. I got a story to tell. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, like you said, a great example of storytelling. What's number 9 for you, Raven?
Number 9, man. So this stuff is really hard. Mainly because like the top 10 never really left the top 10. It was just so hard to put them in a fair order because some of these feel so low to me, but it's because there's some stuff I think is so much better. But I stayed in 97. I went with What's Beef, which is just a dope ass song. I do feel like I have it a little low. Just, beef is guaranteed that I see you in the ICU. That shit was always so hard. I said that shit in like 3 songs because of that. I'm Jay-Z in that fashion. But like yeah, just What's Beef? It was just you can relate. And yeah,
Right.
Right. You need,
You feel it. I mean, when your
yeah,
mom's ain't safe up in the street, I mean,
facts.
you need your enemies to start your Jeep. I mean, just
right.
great fucking
Gangster
storytelling.
shit.
Oh,
Gangsta
so
shit
dope.
for
I know what
sure.
yeah, there was so much good production on that album.
That was an honorable mention. It missed out on my list, but I love that song. We are to number 8, and I'm going to the year 1999. I usually hate these type of albums after they die, but Born Again, there's one song on here I love, and that is Dead Wrong featuring Eminem. Now, there's a version he recorded without Eminem that I've heard that was never released, but I'm going with the newer M1. It's just that hard ass beat. Biggie just rips this like dark beat, and I can't believe this never made an album. I thought it would fit on either of his 2 albums he put out because I think he kills it. And there's tons of great lines and rhymes. And even with Puffy's chatty ass, it still sounds good. The hook still sounds good. Then you get a 1999 Eminem hungry MC trying to prove himself.
On a
Just
big song.
destroy it.
Right.
Just absolutely kill it. I love Em in those early days because he just came in there, just going for the throat because he had to. He literally had to prove himself. So Dead Wrong had to make it because I love that song so much. And that's my number 8. What is yours, Kane?
I got Warning off of Ready to Die.
Ooh, that
Um, uh,
low.
That low.
another
That
another great
low.
storytelling song. I love how he goes back and forth with the dude on the phone, warning him about, the upcoming hit and, what people are saying about him. And then the skit at the end, you got a red dot on your head too. And then,
Mm-mm.
it's a dope song.
Oh,
I'm assuming
shit.
that's going to get brought up again. So I'll let give you guys something to talk about.
All 3 years have been really good storytelling tracks. So, wow, that's low. See where ours drops, Raven and I's. Is that your number 8, Raven? I don't think so.
Oh, hell no. Now my number 8, I am gonna go to 94, produced by Easy Mo B. And I feel like it's a little low, but I'm going with Give Me the Loot, Give Me the Loot. Just classic New York fucking back alley hip hop. And God, he was so grimy in some of these songs that it's like, yeah, he literally took New York by storm and just over in one swoop on that album. And like, Nas and people were coming up out and shit, but nah, Biggie was like the talk all the way, to LA.
No
And
doubt
just
that.
it's shit like that, in my opinion. Like, yeah, Big Papa was his big blow up, but Juicy might have been the one to really pop him. But like I think it should like give me the Luton Warning that really that was the core, that New York hunger.
And you can tell even and understandably that that 94 big was still used to being poor on the streets, just a hungry MC gritty. Where even though I love Life After Death, he had already been,
Oh,
had money for 3 years, so he's not going to be talking about the same thing. So it's a little bit different, more, like baller shit. But yeah, Give Me the Loot was an honorable mention. Amazing song. Right. We are to seven, and I'll stay at that album, 94's Ready to Die. And I'm going to title track, Ready to Die, because just from that opening chord, you just hear like one piano chord, and then Puff says, "Y'all ready, motherfuckers?" And then there's this dope scratching as I grab the Glock. I mean, it pops me off every time. It's like a instant adrenaline rush when he comes in like that. Easy Mo B on the beat, such an underrated producer. Great hook with the scratches and the sampling Scarface's Die, motherfuckers die, motherfuckers die. The beat drops perfectly during verses. Big kills it. And you can feel his pain, kind of like we're talking about. Like you're out there with him on the street hustling, just that gritty. It's like it's nighttime on the streets of New York. You just feel it in his voice. You believe him. There ain't no studio gangster in him. You believe him. So the title track, Ready to Die, it had to make mine just for that way it starts alone. Goddamn. Kane, what is your number seven?
I have Ready to Die, off of Ready to Die. Same everything you said. And I grab the Glock, put it
Yeah,
to your headpiece, one in the
yeah,
chamber,
chamber.
safety is on. Like just how that starts, so freaking hard. Yeah, and everything you said. It's just a super dope song.
Could we make a run at it? Raven, is that your number seven?
I feel like you might hear about that song again, but it is not number seven. Number seven, I'm gonna creep back over to 1997. DJ Premier produced this motherfucking track, kicking the door, waving the 4-4. It's hard as shit. I love that Premier beat. It's just gangsta as fuck. And that's again, he was already fed and happy, but there was songs like Kicking the Door that just gave me those unpolished feels, some of those grittier stories that I really liked about the first album.
Yeah, and it's some MC shit, that song too. And ever since that song, everything in my daily life reminds me of a hip hop lyric. But if I ever see anything in Braille, I think of throw bleach in your eye. Now you're brailing it. And that always it goes in my head for some reason. Thanks, Biggie. All right, number six. And I'll stay at that album with you. 97's Life After Death, the double disc joint here with the big fat double disc. I got a story to tell. And
Oh,
pretty much, everything good was said about it. And I say this on every show. What's missing from hip hop nowadays? Storytellers. And it's a lighthearted beat by Buckwild of Digging in the Crates. But pretty much everything else you covered, the booty call, everything's all good. Oh shit, her NBA player boyfriend comes home early and you gotta like figure out what to do and a crazy caper ensues. And at the end, you're listening to him tell it to his friends, which is even a cool like second part of a structure, right? So
Yeah.
I got a story to tell, next level storytelling. So that was six for me. What is your number six, Kane?
I got 1970 something, featuring the Game, Faith Evans off the Duets album. I was kind of when this album came out because I knew the originals and I wanted those songs. But this one from the beginning, I like more than Respect, which is, Biggie's verses off of. I think it was the storytelling, the R&B chorus, and it featured the Game, who just kills it. Love Respect because of the story, but this one, uh, I have to put 1970 something above Respect. I like this one better.
And I'm usually lukewarm on those albums too, or even less than even cold on them, where they're so it seems like they'll get the one album after they die put out. In this case, it would be like Born Again. And most of the verses on here are just unreleased Biggie verses, right? So it feels new. But when they start getting to the second and third, you're getting just verses off their album, like you said, that was off of Respect. And I always have a hard time separating it. Like my mind wants to not accept it because that's not what it is. But I did go through the duets album, and I don't want to talk too much shit about it, but some songs Biggie's not even on. Like Biggie
Yeah,
doesn't even have a verse. And
yeah.
it's like, that's stupid. Oh, that's how I feel about it. I'm just shitting all over your pick. Raven, what's
Dope
your number
song.
six?
Dope song. Love it.
I love me some
Um,
game.
yeah, I'm actually upset. The only one I ever missed was the game. I'm gonna have to go in those comments and at least put my list sometime. Um, but anyway, where are we at? Six, right?
Six. Yep.
Six. You're dead wrong with Eminem. The only song that I'm gonna be talking about from Born Again, produced by Diddy and like 75 other people. I think Easy Mo B did have a hand in it though. That beat's always been hard as fuck. Eminem's verse is ridiculous in that song. Like you said, the hunger was on full display from M in '99, and he was proving that I belonged on a fucking song with Biggie. And I truly believe, unlike everything on the album that followed this, Biggie would have done a song with M. There was many tracks on that album I felt like Big probably would have done. I don't believe half the people like Nelly and shit that showed up on the next album would have ever been on a Big song. That's just maybe that's just me. But nah, like Dead Wrong was it stood out from the minute it came out.
Absolutely. There's a lot of artists on there that I don't see Biggie. Like there's the one with Cash Money, Millionaire Crew.
Never
Yeah.
would have
It's like
happened.
there ain't no
Never.
way Biggie would have been rapping with Manny
Yeah.
Fresh and Birdman or whatever. Ain't no fucking way. I'm glad someone else loved that song. It's such a great song. So already to the halfway point. Now this is where it was getting tough for me at five. Like fuck. Any of these could have been number one almost to me. But this slid to five. 1994's Ready to Die. One More Chance. The OG version, not the remix that was released as a single that most people hear, the OG version. And I rarely pick sex songs on this list, not that because I don't like them. I just usually gravitate towards different storytelling or lyricism. I mean, I like a good pussy song as much as anyone else. I just like the other stuff more. But goddamn, does Big kill this shit? Even the 2 minutes of women leaving messages on his answer machine does not take away from it. It doesn't even bother me. But from the jump, when it comes to sex, I'm similar to the Thriller in Manila. I mean, I could keep going, right? But everyone here listening, everyone you two on this podcast, you know that you lost it when you heard the beginning of the second verse and you hear that mind playing tricks beat, and it's my mind playing tricks, it's my mind playing tricks, the Scarface and Bushwick, Willie D having nightmares, girls killing me, and then goes back to the regular beat. How they drop that in there for those 2 bars. Come on. Amazing, right? Fucking amazing. Just mixes lyricism with sex rhymes. I love One More Chance. Makes me smile. So that was my number five. What was yours, Kane?
I got Juicy off of Ready to Die. This was my number one Biggie song back in the day. I would listen to this on repeat. Just the line is, I made the change from a common thief to up close and personal with Robin Leach is so dope. He's just flowing through the rest of it, singing on the chorus, and I was hooked.
That was an honorable mention, and only because I knew someone would have it. When I had a cut, I was stuck at 14. I was like, there ain't no way Juicy won't be on someone's list. So that's why I cut it. But such a dope song. And what's your number five, Raven?
Man, I'm really glad that Kev picked that. Like I banked on Kev picking that song.
Yeah, me too.
I initially that was my number one when I first wrote this down. I said, you know what? That's the song that I remember really vibing with the most. I covered that song in 2010 on one of my mixtapes with a girl doing the hook for me. I love it. But then, man, that's just not what I listen to day to day. So I had to really kind of drop it down, and then it hit 11. So I'm really glad it got talked about. Anyway, number five. I went back to 94's Ready to Die, produced again by Easy Mo B, very underrated producer. The What with Method Man. I love it. I love Meth. And that was the height of Wu-Tang. And like Meth was dropping his album that year. And I was just so hyped when I saw he was on this album. And he's the only rapper period that Biggie picked to be on his debut album. One song had one person in it. You know what I mean? That I think that they had to mean a lot to Meth. I'm sure because I know that would that's huge, really. And that song had to make my list because it's just such a gritty fucking song.
And another thing, that same year, Easy Mode B did like half the beats on Ready to Die, but Easy Mode B did like half the beats on Me Against the World, Tupac's. In the
Yeah.
same year, he was producing the Pac album and the Biggie album. And just what would happen just a year or two later. I always found that interesting that those were his projects he was working on in 94.
Well,
Dope song. That was an honorable mention. It didn't make my list, but great MC
same,
shit.
same. It was something. It was tough to
Hmm.
get it off my
Yeah.
list. I love that song.
All right, number four, and this was brought up earlier. It's from 97's Life After Death. And let's do some more primo. Kick in the Door. It's got that sample from I Put a Spell on You, this old like bluesy song that I even knew. But it's just straight lyrical MC shit right here. So many great lines, great hook. He's just repeating what he said in a Junior Mafia song, but it works, right? I talked about When I See Braille, I think of this song, and I don't know, I just always love this song. I love it when Biggie just straight MC shit, punchlines, one-liners, and that's exactly what Kick in the Door was. So that was my number four. What slid in on number four for you, Kane?
I got one more chance, but I got the remix.
Ooh,
I like the remix more than the original. I remember I remember the only place I could hear it was on MTV. I remember running to the living room to hear it. Now you can get it on the movie soundtrack is where I found it now to put it on the list. But just, another great story. And I love when he says isn't it great? Your flight leaves at 8, her flight lands at 9, my game just rewinds. Like that shit's so dope.
no, the
Yeah, that was
remix
a
is dope
cassette
too.
single too. That day he
Yeah, it
put out
was
the cassette
actually
single of it.
right there. One More Chance single I have right there.
Yeah,
That's where the remix. It's got the remix and the original on it. Yeah.
yeah.
Four for you, Raven.
1997 is Life After Death. Somebody's Got to Die.
Thank
What
you.
a great album opener, man. Jesus, it sets that album off so good after the intro. It's so just gangsta as fuck, and it's a high point. It's a high point for a double album. Because it's funny, like for me, the second disc has more laws on it than the first disc. So I mean, but I felt the same way with Pac's All Eyes on Me, and apparently I was in the minority with that. People love disc two. I like every song on disc one of that album.
Mhm.
But yeah, Somebody's Gotta Die, just a great opener, banger of a fucking gangster track. Uh, some of the good examples of Puff Daddy production in the late 90s.
I have written next to it on my honorable mentions. That was my number 12. That was hard to leave. And I always looked at that as kind of like a warning part two because he's getting
Same
woken
basic
up
feel.
about this crazy shit, right? I love that song. Great way to start the record, no doubt. And unlike you, I always thought disc one was inferior to disc two. There's only one or two things I skip, or disc one, there's a handful of things I do. But I like both discs. The whole album is great, so there's really not a bad disc. Which brings us to our top three. This was written at number one for a while. It slid to number three. But from Ready to Die, Suicidal Thoughts. Now, I've always gravitated towards suicide songs, and this is one of the best in history. Probably a top three of all time, because you feel his pain, his losing the will to live. You believe again, you believe it. It sounds real. It doesn't sound like he's just reciting words. And that haunting beat by Lord Finesse, who one day we got to do a Lord Finesse list. I love Lord Finesse. But from Big Call and Puffy and telling him all of his reasons why he shouldn't live anymore. And it just really gets you in that headspace where if you're in that headspace, you have all that you can make a list 150 reasons why you shouldn't be alive and zero why you should. And he really captured that. It's so powerful. I love this song. It even ends with that fatal gunshot. I've always gravitated to these type of songs. So I've always loved it. And it was at one for a long time, but I slid it. So that was my number three, Suicidal Thoughts. What a way to end that record. What's number three for you, Kane?
Since I had to go a little bit harder because I was on the soft side on the last one, um, Who Shot Ya? It's on Born Again, but it was like a B side
It was a
when it first
B-side.
came, right?
Yeah, it was a
Right.
B-side to Big Papa.
Okay. This song is so hard. Just how he puts the fact that he's done playing this shit. Another great Biggie line is, "I can hear sweat trickling down your cheek. Your heartbeat sounds like Sasquatch feet." Like it's just so freaking dope. He gets them.
Descriptive. That's a good
Yeah,
word for Biggie. Just those
yeah.
little things. Yeah. No, that song's done. Another one that is it was amazing that didn't make a record. Didn't make Ready to Die. Or
What I was when I was looking stuff up and stuff, I guess it said Puffy didn't want it on the album.
Said it was too hard. It was going to
Yeah,
incite too many problems at the time, and they
yeah,
were trying to move towards
is that the
peace.
reason?
Yeah, he
yeah.
did it live a few times, and the crowd got stupid fucking hype. So he's just like, maybe we don't need to do this song and cause trouble.
Okay.
He was afraid of the NWA, I think.
Yeah, right.
Well, like because every other the other songs that Ready to Die are all
No, but it was
lighthearted.
just when they
You're
did that
right.
song
You're
live,
right.
like the
It
crowd
killed.
was just started moshing, and that
Yeah.
didn't really happen in New York hip hop scenes.
Right. Well, it should have made it 'cause that shit's dope. Raven, what's your number three?
Yeah, that one shit hurt not to make my list. It was one of the top when I said I had 13 or 14 that couldn't, that
Mhm.
was in there. Number two, you said? Or number three.
Three.
I went to 94 to Suicidal Thoughts, because it is a great fucking way to end an album. It's gangsta as fuck. It's dark as shit. Like, and I'm kind of like you. Like, I gravitate towards suicidal music. I've put out many albums that have detailed suicide letters in them. You know what I mean? Fucking Brother Lynch
Me
hung
too.
suicide music. I love that shit. And this is just a hard song. And like you said, that to end the album, just that gunshot, Puff Daddy, with the panic and shit. I don't know. It was definitely a resonating, way to finish it out. So.
Yeah, it always hit me. I always related to it. And if you want to look at the broader scope, right? The album is He's Ready to Die. At the end of the record, he dies, right? He shoots
Mhm.
himself. And then the next record is Life
Life
After
after death.
Death. And although everyone always tied it to because he died, that wasn't obviously he wasn't planning on getting shot 2 weeks before it came out, right? So he was
Facts.
tying those records together, just it's storytelling again, right?
Right. I wonder if he
Uh,
had like Born Again planned also, and then they just,
that maybe that was gonna be the
I wouldn't be
third.
surprised.
yeah.
I never thought of that, but that very well could be. So we are to number two, and it was just talked about. I'll slide right into it. 1995 off the Big Papa single, Who Shot Ya? It's just such a hard ass song, right? And pretty much covered it all, except so many people want to call this a Tupac diss, but it's not. It was recorded before Tupac got shot at Quad Studios, and people always want to relate it to a Tupac diss after Tupac got shot at those studios. It was recorded before, and then people made the argument, well, okay, but they released it after he was shot, so then they took this existing song and put it out to diss him and make fun. It's all conspiracy theories to me. It's just a dope ass song that was a B side, right? And
That's
it's
probably why it got left off the album, honestly. Like, in all honesty, that's more than likely.
well, no, because Ready to Die came out in '94. Pac got
Yeah,
shot in
you're right. You're right.
'95,
That's right.
so that's not it's not related to Pac at all. I'm convinced of that. But so many people call this a Pac diss track.
I always thought it was a pop diss track.
Oh,
It
really?
was
Oh,
recorded the year before he got shot. Yeah,
Well, I think even the movie tried to swing it to make it look more like that
probably.
too. So,
Probably. The argument you'll hear when you say it was recorded before is, well, yeah, but they released it after he got shot to make this existing song. It's just like that's a lot of fucking moving pieces. I really doubt that's why why,
facts.
but it's one of those go to war songs, even with Puffy once again screaming in the background, right? He's on every song, I think, pretty much in the background, yelling
Yeah,
shit, bad boy. He's
that was
like
his trademark. He's on every Mace album, every Locks album, every big album.
right, and I knew that, right? Obviously, I've heard these songs 1,000 times, but I kept thinking about Suge Knight at those famous Source Awards where shit went down, and he's like, "If you don't want CEO of your company, all in the videos, all on the songs, come to death row," and it's like, well, he wasn't wrong. Fucking Puffy was on everything. It's just like going through everything at once. It was just like he's literally in every fucking song Big ever did. Who shot you? My number two. What's your number two, Kane?
I got Big Papa off of Ready to Die. This is like the song, I feel. The one that put everything in motion for him. from the beginning part of the beat with the Isley Brothers sample. Just an iconic song that for me tells the whole area of growing up, right then. The laid back flow, the beat, the talking pimp shit, great song. And I turn the song up every time it comes on.
And you know what's great about music is how different people hear it, right? So to me, Ready to Die is a 5 mic album. It's damn near perfect. Big Papa is the only song I skip every time. I
Oh,
love
really?
the entire thing. I cannot stand Big Papa because it doesn't seem big to me, right? I always looked at it like Puffy made him do this soft ass song to get radio spins, which it did. I mean, it helped get him bigger. But I always looked at it from that view, and it's not a bad song if I'm just being objective about it. It's just I always looked at it. Puffy made him do something soft. So my fuck you to Puff Daddy was skipping that song every time, I think. And then it just became habit. I just don't listen to that song. But
I
it's
love
just
that song.
interesting how people
Yeah.
can view music different. And why I don't like it isn't necessarily because it's a terrible sounding song. Right? Number 2 for you, Raven.
I kind of am in the same boat there, though. I don't really listen to that song. Never really did. I bought the single for the B side, but yeah. Number two was, man, this for me, that early '90s gritty New York sound. I was an East Coast kid. Another killer Easy Mo beat. The Warning, fucking Warning is such a good song. It's so hard, and it again, it's like the epitome of that just that on the corner with the trash barrel burning, slinging crack. Like it's New York grit, man. I love that shit.
You know, we talked about that on the Onyx episode, how they're out in
Hmm.
the alley by a burning
Yeah,
barrel. You know, just 2 blocks away was Biggie,
facts.
recording his album out in the alleyway, right? Well, perfect transition. Let's just go to number one. 94 is Ready to Die. Warning. Storytelling at its absolute finest. You said how it was an easy Mo beat. Just paints such a perfect detailed picture. It's like you're there. And even him doing the other person's voice on the telephone, right? I mean, that's big. Just over with a telephone filter and doing a little bit, which he also does on Give Me the Loot.
Yep.
Both characters are big. He's just rapping a little bit different, but it works. Great crime tale, simple but effective hook. They even made a video for this, which I was always kind of surprised even back then. Like, this isn't the type of song you'd think there'd be a video. And what always this still kind of made me laugh, but the video just starts and he's getting a phone call. So, who the fuck is this paging me in 546? And he's in bed, answering the phone, and there's just like 4 or 5 naked chicks just randomly in his bed or in his room. It's like he just wakes up with all these naked bitches. Like it's just an everyday thing. That always made me laugh. And then it ends with the Scarface style shootout. Yeah, everything else has been said. C4 at your door, no beef, no more. Iconic. Warning. Had to be number 1 for me. Kane, you are up. What's your last one?
I got Everyday Struggle off of Ready to Die.
Hmm.
This is a song I wanted my funeral like the Tupac Me Against the World song. Like I can't tell you how many times I've thought to myself, I know how it feel to wake up fucked up,
Yep.
pockets broke as hell. Like just dealing and not being able to trust people and questioning what you're doing. So you use to deal with those feelings, and it's just this cycle of this everyday struggle. It's so dope.
I'm so glad that made someone's list. It's on honorable mentions, and I have number 13 written next to it. I labeled my 11 through 14 because I felt so strongly about them. No, it's such a great song. And that is a great line. Almost anyone can relate to that, right? All right, Raven, what's your number 1?
I can't believe we didn't talk about Notorious Thugs. We're still not going to, but I can't believe nobody talked about
You're
that
right.
song.
I would have thought someone would have brought it up too. You're right.
No, number one, this actually surprised me because I really thought Warning was gonna lock down my number one, but I had to go with the title track Ready to Die because it's just such a fucking song. I love that song. Everything about that story is perfect.
Well, Biggie, we finally did it. It's amazing it took this long. I always kind of passed it up because he didn't have a ton of material. So honorable mentions. Since we've had a lot of first time viewers lately, if a song doesn't get brought up and I think it needs some love, I just throw it on honorable mentions just to give it a shout out if it didn't make anyone's list. So I had to put Dreams on there, like the first Biggie song, right? Dreams of fucking an R&B bitch, where he's labeling all the R&B girls he'd like to sleep with. Because not only is that a funny song, it led to us getting Thurston Howell's the Third's Dreams of fucking a cartoon bitch about all the cartoons he was gonna fuck. Smurfette rode this dick that was bigger than her. Uh, I just, it's so dope. My number 11, no one brought up. Man, I wanted it on my list. Things Done Changed. Great way to start that record. Gritty, fucking just hard, right? Everything else you guys hit off Ready to Die. I have his honorable mention, Notorious Thugs. You're right. I thought that was going to get brought up. For Biggie's verse alone, I mean,
Mm.
how he kind of tried to do that bone type style. Missing You. I really thought Kane would have that on his list. Missing You.
It was one of
Uh,
the ones that was at the end.
And another with Little Kim, I always liked that too. That was a good back and forth, like man against woman type thing. And you're nobody till somebody kills you. And off of Born Again, even though it doesn't seem like I should like it, but I have a theory why, is Notorious. It's a poppy and it was the single.
Notorious.
Yeah, that. And it's got Puffy on it. We are. But it had me wanting to tell a quick story. So I go to a lot of Milwaukee Bucks games, and when Giannis, our star player, scores, they would always play Notorious and just that little sample, right? Every time he scored. And you'd hear the Puffy, we are. Well, after the Puffy got, arrested with all this freak shit, they played it, but they took off the Puffy overdubs, so you didn't hear Puffy's part anymore. And I always thought that
Oh,
was so, yeah.
That's funny.
The friggin' Pfizer Forum basketball arena took out the Puffy overdub after he, had all this freak shit. And one more thing I wanted to talk about, it's not a Biggie song, but he's featured on it, and it's kind of a rarity that not tons of people know, is Dr. Dre and Ed Lover from Yo MTV Raps did an album in the mid 90s. And there's a song in there called Who's the Man featuring Biggie. And it's one of my top 5 Biggie verses of all time. Just MC shit. He kills it. And he ends it with, Who's the Man? I see him every morning in the mirror, and you hear glass breaking. I don't know, it gets me every time. So those are my honorable mentions. Are we missing anything?
Yeah, I think most of what Notorious said. Yeah, I mean, the points, he had a really dope verse in that. The points.
Oh, that's a
I
great
love
bossy
that
track.
song anyway. And that Big Bone had a killer set on that shit too. But yeah, I mean, shit, Big had a dope verse on a Michael Jackson track in '97. Like Big was like starting to really blow. He could have done so much. He would have done so much. It's fucking shame.
Have a
All right,
good
good seeing you
one.
guast.
See ya.
Good seeing y'all. Have
See
a
you,
good
man.
one.
Still a B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East coast to the west, B-boys worldwide, we supposed to be blessed. Still a B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy.